There's reasons behind what we do, but also in a guided discovery learning piece of what you're doing here. I'm just the guy driving the boat from one side of the river to the other. In that piece, it's you need to experience, and you need to make the decision of, yeah, that works better for me.
All of our training courses are based, they're designed in differentiated instruction, in having a diverse group of people and teaching to the individual. Everybody comes here from different walks of life, from different levels of skill. And it's incumbent upon me to be able to teach to each one of those individuals. The spread of student is very diverse. The skill level is very diverse. And what I strive to do is, in that differentiated instruction, is teach to the student the ability to assess a student where they are, where they want to go, and then fill the steps in to get them there. So we will all shoot, an example of that is we will all shoot the same common drills. So we may be running a presentation drill with multiple shots or multiple threats. The pace at which the novice shooter shoots that drill will be a little different than the pace at which the competitive shooter or the professional SWAT tactician does it. But both of them need to be taught equally. You need to be taught, and what I provide here is an ability to teach to you at your level, to refine those new and experienced to where they need to be, because it's a constant application of the fundamentals. And at times, as a new shooter, we won't know what all the fundamentals are, and as an experienced shooter, we may not be disciplined enough to come back to the fundamentals every time. So that journey is multifaceted through many levels. We're all doing the same thing, we're just doing it at a different pace. It's like driving on the freeway. There's different lanes, and in each lane, cars are typically going different speeds. Yet everybody is still going from point A to point B.
Fire! Stop where you are! Turn your head and look at me! Don't step to the space, what? Lightly. Deliberate acts and deliberate movement every time. How, if in this 5 minutes of time, would I prefer you to shoot 100 rounds or what? One what? Clean, perfect rep. So don't just make noise. When you address your carbine, address it high. Get your hand right up there in the back strap. Be able to lay your thumb right across the top of your selector. Does that make sense? So where does my support hand go then? There's a lot of discussion back and forth, different schools of thought on where my support hand goes on my carbine. Simply, we run it the same as we would a baseball bat. Meaning, if you've ever played baseball or watched somebody play baseball, the hand position on the bat changes based on the result they want the ball. The way you hold the bat to bunt is entirely different than the way you hold the bat to hit a home run. Same with a carbine. So my hand position can flow up and down the fore end, up to the magazine well, based on the result I want to get down range. If I want a more stable rearward pull on the carbine, I can extend my hand and pull that gun back into my shoulder. If I'm in a tight, confined space, or in a vehicle, I'm going to need to slide my hand back more towards the magazine well. Does that make sense? The easiest way to think about where I want my hand position on my carbine fore end is, I would like it to be in the same spot as my hand position with my pistol. So if I were to go like this and draw my pistol out and shoot, if I leave my support hand there and recover my carbine, that's where it is. So my manipulation of my weapon system is consistent across the board. If this is where my hand likes to be for my pistol, then that's exactly where my hand can be for my carbine. And then it moves from there. Does that make sense? So those touch points are the same. All we're doing is splitting our hands apart, and now we're here working the gun. Now, one of the nuances that you will see me do is I'm going to use this lane, I turn my gun inboard. My eyes are inside of my head. They're not out here on the outside. So in order to be more efficient with what's going on, my optic sits, and this optic sits about 1.5 to 2 inches above the frame of the gun. So if I mount this gun traditionally up and down, I have to what? Set my head down to get my dot. So the more efficient way to do it is to keep my head up and then turn the gun. So that gun is at an angle which drops the dot in front of my eye. So then I don't have to dip my head to get on the gun. I can just be here, mount the gun, and I have the dot. Here, mount the gun, and have the dot. I can shoot this all day long. If I need it to be more precise or at distance, I can suck the gun back into my shoulder. Everything's good, so it's a difference of here I gotta crank my head down and get down there. Remember yesterday when we talked about pistol? I was like, hey, relax your shoulders, don't keep hunching over. Same thing happens here with the carbine. So I'm here, I don't want to be all hunched over, so all I'm doing is here and I'm indexing. So there's not a threat, now there is. Not is. As opposed to mounting that gun and then trying to find the dot. So as we work through this, start on target and then work back from there. I mentioned that yesterday on the drill. That one round from high ready in a second is literally done here, there, ready to go, right? As opposed to out, pull, seat.
We all know why you're living in the city. You don't know what's even missing. We all
I get so angry. Okay, we're gonna work on pivots and turns. If you don't know what's going on down there, there's a penis shadow. It looks really funny. We'll be uploading it later. Hey, there it is again!
I'm a Bing Bing.